Thanks for joining us for the Hospitality Hangout, a hospitality-focused podcast where the founders of Branded Strategic share their insights and bring technology and innovation leaders that are making things happen in the industry we love. My name is Jimmy Frischling, otherwise known as the Finance Guy. I'd like to introduce my partner, Mr. Michael Schatzberg, also known as the Restaurant Guy.
And thank you for that very kind introduction, Jimmy. And to all those listening, feel free to call me Shatsy. And together, we're the personalities behind Branded Hospitality Ventures. We work at the intersection of hospitality, technology, innovation, capital, burgers, chicken, tacos, and anything else you can find over at, I'm not going to say, but Jimmy, I got to tell you, we got a fantastic guest right now.
Fantastic.
In the green room is one of the most incredible guests I think we've ever had on the program. So before we get to the guest, Jimmy, I just want to talk to you about something that's very near and dear to my heart. It's Boom.store. Jimmy, do you know what this is?
Boom.store. Please educate me, my small mind.
Let me tell you something. If you're an operator and you're looking for the latest and greatest in technology solutions, you're like, where do I find a delivery platform? Where do I find an inventory platform? Where do I find something for, procurement? Big word, right, Jim?
Google.
Procurement.
Google. We use Google, right?
No,
not Google.
Was 1995, Jimmy. Yahoo was 1990. Today, it's Boom.store. You go to Boom.
Boom.store.
It will give you all search, rate, review. You find all the best technology for the hospitality food service space. It is connecting all the operators with the greatest technology solutions. I'm talking, Jimmy, point of sale systems. I'm talking inventory platforms, purchasing platforms, delivery platforms, you name it.
Boom.
It's got it. Boom. You find everything you need there. So go check out Boom right now. Jimmy, all you got to do is sign up. Have your credit card handy because do you know how expensive this thing is? You better have a Platinum or a Centurion card, my friend. You know what it costs?
How much does it cost? What does it cost?
Zero, bubby. That's right. You put it on your Amex card, you're not even getting miles because it's no charge. It's free to everybody, Jimmy.
How do we make money on this thing?
Jimmy, I'm not going to lie to you. We don't make any money on this thing. Right?
Volume. The answer is volume.
Volume is the answer.
Volume.
Anyway, Jimmy, that was a shameless plug by Boom. Check it all out. Now let's get to our guest because he's amazing.
Yes, he is. Now, this is very exciting. And Shatsy, I'm not going to necessarily disagree with your preamble about what an amazing guest we have. But just to be clear, we've done like 120 podcasts. And if you single out our guest today, who is a great one, as the single best guest we've had, we've just angered 120 or so people. So how about we just say he's among the greatest guests we've ever had? Because that way,
Jimmy, you know who our guest is next week?
Oh,
greatest guest we've ever had.
All right.
Greatest guest we've ever had.
Great. So your sincerity, I'm going to call you Shatsy, Mr. Sincere Schatzberg. Listen, before we get started, we are very excited, okay? We have today the CEO and the co-founder of PINCHO, our friend, Mr. Otto Othman. Otto, we are so excited to have you on the podcast. But before we let you jump in, and I know you're getting ready to go, and you're like, why did I agree to do this if then you guys don't even let me speak? But before we let Otto jump on in and jump into this podcast with us, we have a segment called Trivia Tuesday that we're very excited about. You know, because we our podcasts are released on Tuesdays, we now have Trivia Tuesdays. Each week we have a fun trivia question about our guests. But here's the catch. You have to stick around and tune in at the end of the episode to find out the answers.
It's becoming my favorite little segment, Jimbo.
This could be the best segment in all podcast history.
Not the best.
No,
but I would say top 10.
Top 10. Okay, listen. The game is called Two Truths and a Lie. Two truths and a lie. Okay, we're going to give you 3 facts about our friend Otto. 2 are true. 1 is false. Here we go. Fact 1. Otto was kicked out of school for hacking into the school computer network. Whoa. Fact 2.
I've known Otto for a while now. I got to be honest with you. I can believe that.
All right. Otto speaks 4 languages fluently. Fact 3.
I can believe that.
Otto played professional soccer for 8 years. I got to tell you, I do think this may be the most challenging and difficult.
Yeah, but I've seen Otto and I've seen soccer players, and I love the guy. but he seems too short, and he seems too he doesn't seem like I watch the Premier League every Saturday, Jimmy. I don't know. They don't
By the
look
way,
like those guys. He's gorgeous. Don't get me wrong.
I'm giving you my Irish symbol. And it's on the screen. That it's probably not known by most.
Years, but get out of here.
But Messi right now, the great soccer player, is laughing about you're too short.
He's
too
5'2".
short. He's in you, Shatsy. Go shut the F up. Okay, listen, enough banter. We got to bring Otto into the mix. Remember, stick around at the end of the show to hear the real story of two truths and a lie. Otto, we're thrilled to have you on the podcast with us. We're big fans. Please let you take the lead. Give us a little background about yourself and, of course, your fabulous company, Pinchos.
All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I am not 5'2", by the way. I'm 5'9". So I just want to say that, for that trivia question. Just want to put it out.
The last time I saw you, I was drinking heavily, and I don't know. I felt like I was standing on a table or something. So you look very short.
There you go. But anyway, so thank you guys. A little bit about me. Born and raised in Brazil, moved to the States when I was 16, 17 years old. My background is I was a software developer for many years. And then I got into design and advertising. So most recently, prior to PINCHO, I was a creative director at a big ad agency called Sapien Nitro. Just creating, campaigns for big brands. So a lot of fun until I decided to open up PINCHO together with my co-founders. And on a high level, PINCHO, we are a premium Latin street food concept. So we are burgers, kebabs, with a Latin twist. We are currently at 10 units here in Miami and actively growing into the Houston market. So very, very exciting times for us.
That is awesome, Otto. And I got to tell you, I remember speaking to you quite a few years ago when someone said, have you ever been to Pinchos? And I reached out to you because people are like, the food is freaking awesome. And my son goes to the University of Miami. And I said, you got to check out this Pinchos. And he did. And he reported back that it was some of the best food he had ever had. And, so I've been intrigued by you and Pinchos ever since. And we've been fortunate enough now to become friends, see each other a lot. And I know you've partnered up with our mutual friend, Andrew Smith, over at Savory. And you guys are growing gangbusters. My understanding is that you have 10 stores now, but you've signed leases and deals that you will have over 5,000 stores before the end of the year. Is that true?
Yeah, it's between
all those numbers, Shatsy.
Yeah.
5,000 stores before the end of the year. It will be the fastest growing restaurant chain in the history of restaurant chains. Excited. But before we get into how you can create 5,000 stores in 1 year, I want to you're an art director, you're creative, you were in Brazil playing professional soccer for 8 years. So let's just talk about, so you're playing soccer, you're a professional player in Brazil, you're unbelievable. And then you decide, no, I want to open a restaurant.
Right.
Tell us how that happened.
Right.
How do you go from a professional soccer player, you're speaking languages like crazy, 4 or 5 languages, and now you open restaurants? Tell us how you do this.
There you go. Well, it's actually a really funny story. Yeah.
See what you did there, Chef.
Yeah.
I think everyone saw what you did there.
Yeah,
I think everyone saw
we all saw it. I got into design early on, and like I said, I'm a big computer nerd, and I got into design, and I was working for this ad agency. But prior to that, I did a lot of work for the hospitality industry. So the biggest nightclubs in Miami, the biggest restaurants. I was part of a boutique agency that's what we did for a living. We branded them. We created campaigns for them. So I kind of fell in love with hospitality from then on. And my mom's recipe for the kebab, that's what pincho means, by the way, here in Miami, is a slang for kebab. It's a Spanish slang for kebab. Mm-hmm. My friends fell in love with my family recipe, and to the point that they used to call my house all the time and say, hey, is it okay if we bring 2 pounds of steak this week? And can you, Mom, just...
People are coming over your house. You're thinking you're really popular. Everyone likes you. But really, they just like your mom's kebab.
They just wanted the rest.
For so many friends.
Exactly. And it became a thing. And then I said, you know what? One day, I'm going to open something with my family recipe one day, right? But then life happened, and I went on, and I was working at this big ad agency on a crazy 4th of July barbecue, having some drinks with my co-founders. We decided to go for it. We said, I told Nadal at the time, I'm like, hey, listen, you let's open a restaurant. I've always wanted to do this one thing. I'm a marketing branding guy. I'll do all of that work, and you run the spot, and we'll put my mom's recipe and so on and so forth. And we just wanted to open one unit.
Did you bring your mom into the kitchen? Did you have your mom start cooking?
No, I didn't bring her. She taught us how to cook, her recipe. She was our mystery shopper, though. She was our most critical mystery shopper. She used to go,
Sure.
Oh my God, this lady would walk into the restaurant, any given time and go behind the counter, start telling the team what to do and how to do it. It was hilarious.
Thank God for mom.
Yeah. Long story short, I quit my career, right? It took off. The business took off. It was a big decision for me, right? I was already 15 years into design and creativity in that world, and growing in my corporate career. But I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I was born to immigrant entrepreneurs. My dad and my mom have been entrepreneurs since they were kids. And it was just in our blood. So I said, you know what? I just got to quit. So I quit my career and I went PINCHO full time. And here we are.
I love it. Unbelievable.
It is a great story. I love the shout out and respect to the mama. And I got to tell you, Fountains of Wayne could have done, forget Stacy's mom. This is Otto's mom, man. This is all about Otto's mom. I love this. Tribute to you and your family. Listen, love the story on the success of fellow operators. And we really, you're a brand and a company for people to watch. Some people may, argue that hitting the masses equals success. And certainly we understand that the numbers do matter and there's economies of scale with that type of growth. But you guys, I think, have earned a cult classic status. And cult classic is a status that it doesn't just mean you've made it, but it means it's something special. And I think that's what we consistently hear about PINCHO is that you guys have a
cult classic, Jimbo.
We're called something. I don't know if called classic yet, but by the way, but PINCHO and Otto's on his way. So listen, PINCHO has gone from kind of like an in the know. It was like the local secret to now an incredibly well-known Miami concept, gracing many national foodie must-try lists. And now you're moving to the great big state of Texas. Can you share a little bit of how you're working to keep your local cool vibe as you continue to grow and expand?
Yeah, a lot of thought goes into that. It's incredibly, incredibly hard to scale that intimacy, scale that local vibe, local flair. I think a lot about that. That's honestly, as a founder, that's priority all day, every day. How do we grow, and how do we grow without selling out? Still being that local, cool neighborhood spot. Look, did we set out to build this cult-like following? We didn't. We opened this one restaurant, and honest to God, Miami showed us so much love, and we grew from our guests. Our guests were the ones that kind of dictated our menu, that we invited them to be part of what PINCHO was all about as we grew this brand. So to be able to say that we're cult-like, and honestly, it's an honor for us here in Miami. So many people love our brand, and it's actually extremely humbling. Now, how do we make the amazing folks of Texas kind of feel that vibe, and how do we scale that? That is a huge challenge, and we're thinking a lot about it. Thinking about a lot about how to be part of the fabric of Houston. How to really invite the locals to feel that sense of ownership that Miamians have over PINCHO is a big task, and it's all we're thinking about. And so I'm very excited about it. But at the core, man, it starts with people. It starts with just hiring a kick-ass team. Not only a team from Miami that's going to be going to Texas, but also a team from Texas that will be coming to Miami so they can really understand the vibe and understand what we're all about. So that cross-pollination is what we're trying to do right now. So big task, but I'm very excited about it.
Very cool.
I think you're going to crush it. I got to tell you. Listen, I mean, we've been in the restaurant space here in New York City for quite a few years. And we had a couple of burger joints. We had Big Daddy's. We had a couple Big Daddy's locations here in the city. It was burgers, shakes, and tots. And burgers are a big deal. Everyone loves a good burger. I'm going to brag a little bit more about you because I got to tell you, not only are you a great soccer player, not only do you speak 7 or 8 languages, not only are you incredibly handsome, but you've also won the best burger at the South Beach Food and Wine Festival, the Miami Burger Fest, the Burger Beast Hamburger House Party, and you were rated top burger by one of my favorite places to get my where I'm going to eat. Eater, I guess it's not Eater, it's eater.com, whatever, Eater, but whatever Eater is today. But Eater, you go to Eater, I love Eater. Anyway, what's the secret sauce? How you could make the best burger? I mean, you're making kebabs. Your mom's got a great kebab recipe, but I don't see Sobe saying you're the best Bob. They're saying you're the best burger. Talk to me.
Right. Well, I get asked that question a lot. How come you guys became popular for burgers? And the answer is because there are no kebab competitions. That's the answer. There was no kebab.
Is that what it is? So Miami Burger Fest needs to be the Miami
Kebab Fest.
Kebab Fest?
No, that would be like during the Michael Jordan years. It's like Otto and Pinchos, and then who else is playing in the kebab?
So we got to get the Kebab Beast Kebab House Party.
There you go. We actually thought about starting our own kebab competition because there's none. So I think it's high time somebody starts.
Breaking news.
I can tell you right now, I love the idea. And Jimmy is an ideas man. He's a Renaissance man. And I got to tell you, Jimmy, what do you think about a kebab festival, the branded kebab festival?
There you go.
The branded kebab festival.
Sponsored by the Hospitality Hangout and Chico's Bail Bonds.
Chico's Bail Bonds. Bring Chico back.
I love it. Yeah, no, but look, we were smart enough, I think, not because we, strategized this, but we were smart enough early on to bring on the director of culinary when we had one store. So we are the fast casual that had a chef since store number 1, right? And then that really played a huge role. So Adrian Sanchez is currently still with us still today. He is our director of culinary. He's an incredible chef. And he is the guy behind all of the sauce, right? The secret, the burgers, and all of that. So the Burger Bash event that you just spoke about, the South Beach Wine and Food Burger Bash, we were the first Miami brand to ever win it. It was Bob Flay and Michael Simon year after year. This is, the food festival. You guys have one in New York too, right?
That makes no sense. These guys aren't from Miami.
Right. So, yeah, because it's burger joints from all over the country. They all come to South Beach and they all compete on the sand. And it was celebrity chefs winning it left and right. So we won it for the first time in 2015. And that was a huge deal. And then we won it again in 2019. So now we're.
What does it cost for you to win an event like that? How much you have to pay off the judges and stuff?
A few gift cards. I think it's what.
Yeah, I figured like some gift cards, whatever, right?
Yeah, no. Look, the judges every year, different judges, but we won the people's choice, and that's what matters, right? So you have the judges' choice and the people's choice. We won the people's choice, where everybody goes with a chip and they vote. So you got about
on 5 tomatoes. I never care what the critics say. I always care, right?
People say exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
We were lucky, man, that we had Adrian on board, and in 2019 we've won. There was 4 major burger competitions. In 2019, we won all 4. Thanks.
Unbelievable. That is phenomenal. I'm getting hungry just talking about it, Jimmy. I need lunch today. I'm hungry.
I got to tell you, I'm getting hungry myself. Listen, first of all, I love what you did there, Shatsy, with the secret sauce. I don't know if you intentionally did that, but I thought the pun was appropriate. I want to add something to the secret sauce because let me tell you something. Otto's very humble.
I'm not that smart.
Otto's very humble. Let me tell you what Otto's and Pincho's secret sauce is. Love. That's what it is. Okay. Listen,
I agree.
I strongly believe
love makes everything taste better.
Always make things taste better. And in authenticity, I strongly believe that the most successful companies and brands have achieved that status by having, wait for it, Shatsy, a core recipe of values. That's right. I went there. Core recipe of values. Pinchos is a great example of this. And I want to ask Otto to share a little bit more about the three values of Pincho: flavor, culture, and passion, that are the foundation of everything you do. And I think that was awesome. It resonated with me. The FCP, the flavor, culture, passion. Otto, can you expand on that for our listeners, please?
Absolutely. Again, we're a Miami brand, so flavor matters a lot to us. Like I was just saying, we have this chef that's been with us since year one, but also it's not just the flavor of our food, but also it's the flavor in which we serve our food, right? So it's how to bring flavor in everything that we do is a big piece of what Pincho is all about. And then the second most important one is culture, right? Culture is not only the culture that we're building internally for our teams, but being part of the fabric, part of the culture of Miami. So how do you create a brand that is constantly in the know of what's happening, constantly part of pop culture and everything else? So it's a core belief of ours. But then going above and beyond for our team internally and building that amazing culture is a huge piece of our success. And then last, passion, right? If you're not passionate about hospitality, you shouldn't be in this game. It's not an easy gig. You got to have passion for serving people. You have to have passion for inviting folks into your home. But also internally as a team, we have to have passion about everything that we do. So, those are our core values of the brand. They're ever evolving, right? The good thing about core values is that you can rewrite them, you can change them, but you better live and breathe those core values, because if you don't, then it just sends a signal that's all bullshit. So you gotta write them down and live to the core values. So we've been.
Jimmy, did Otto just drop a four-letter word on our family-friendly podcast?
I'm sorry.
I thought I just heard.
It's okay.
I thought I just heard a dirty word.
There's no FCC violation.
Listen, before we get into the dirty word, I don't want people calling me and complaining. So let me just immediately switch gears. We talked about the values. Clearly, one of the values is dropping dirty words. Let's talk tech, okay? Because we love technology. We love hospitality technology. Talk to me about, like, as you grow, your tech stack over there at Otto's. So what are you thinking? You have 10 stores now. You're going to be growing up to, like I said, 5,000 stores by the end of the year. What kind of technology are you going to be bringing in, or do you bring in, that's going to help you grow and help you continue with those core values, connecting with your customers? You're going to Houston. It's a new market. You've been embedded in this Miami area like you talked about, but now you're going to a new market. What kind of technology are you using? It's back of the house, front of the house, customer engagement, loyalty. What? Talk to me about that.
Right. So, because of my background in tech, we've been very focused on technology since day one. So I like to say that we have, for our size, we probably have one of the best tech stacks out there. You guys are very well known for tech as well. So you would appreciate, our technology. But right now at the core, we've been lucky that we're part of Savory. So we get to benefit from a proprietary technology that they have built internally called Ember that really helps us with just reporting and KPIs and getting all of our managers to kind of do their self-reporting. And I think that's like a very, very important piece on how to make sure that we're scaling our brand. But most importantly as well, we got our CRM, our loyalty, which is Thanks at the core. It's fantastic. I love the guy.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, AI right now is big for us as well. We just launched an amazing tool where our guests can place an order via phones just by simply talking to our AI. It's incredible. I'm talking about, we have seen our sales just, go up and up and up ever since we put that in place. And the company's called Kia, Kea. They're phenomenal. And honestly, man, right now is doubling down on our learning management software, is how to make sure that we are scaling Pincho everywhere, and everyone's being trained the same, and everybody's being exposed to what the value is all about via our LMS. So it's called PINCHO University. So we have a full-time person just working on that, just to make sure that the content's top notch. We can go on and on about tech, but that's
No, we don't really have time for that, Otto. So we've got a lot to get to. So no, I think you said enough. I think we get it. No, because Jimmy's got some really good questions for you.
Shazzy, don't be bothered that Otto was giving out some shout outs to some of our friends and not necessarily portfolio companies. That's okay. It's a lot of love.
I love it. I love it. But
we love our friends at Thanks. We want to learn more about Kia. This is good stuff. I like it. Listen, before we move on, I want to spend just a minute. And you've mentioned it, Otto, and Shatsy tried to steal my thunder at the top of the show. But we love the crew at Savory and the Savory Restaurant Fund. We love your partnership with them. Shout outs to our friends Andrew and Alonzo and the whole crew over at Savory. And while you touched on it, just a little more on how has your business maybe evolved since working with Savory, and really almost like what's next. You'd met the Savory crew. There was a little bit of flirting. There's a little bit of discussions. Things went quiet, I think, for a moment, and then you guys came together and are now off to the races. I think I would love for you to share that with our listeners, because I think that's a great story.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I met Andrew and Taylor in New York, actually, a long time ago. This is probably 4 years now. And, at the time I was like, not really interested in doing a majority deal with a private equity, right? I was trying to, just raise a little bit of capital, just keep growing. But then we became friends, and we kept talking, and they're terrific people. They're amazing human beings.
Hard to say no to Andrew,
Right, exactly. Yeah,
it's very convincing. He's got great hair.
That's what I tell him all the time. I was like slick hair. I'm like, man, this guy says all the right things. But no, we became friends, and we kept in touch. And then the pandemic hit, and they asked me, how are you doing? And I said, better than ever. We were, in Florida. That was one. But, again, because of our technology stack and everything, the pandemic was actually a really good thing for us. Yeah, it was unfortunate for a lot of my friends, but for PINCHO, it actually made us better, right? Our sales took off, and they saw the potential of the brand, and we kept talking, and then we said, what, let's just talk about this thing. Is there a world where we actually partner up? And
what did he say that made you say yes? How many zeros? Did he write on a napkin? How many zeros did he write on a napkin and say, Otto, you say no? Look at this napkin and look what I just wrote.
There you go.
I know how he works. He's ruthless. He's ruthless the way he throws those zeros around.
I got Andrew on the speaker box listening, and he's saying, Otto, that's between, my name is Paul. That's between you all. You don't have to share that.
So look, I'll tell you this. We were talking to a lot of folks, and ultimately we decided to partner up with them because of the value that they would bring, because of the platform. You guys know what Savory is all about. And we did the deal, and honest to God, it has changed PINCHO significantly. I mean, we've become.
Couldn't imagine you guys picking better partners than our friends over at Savory.
They're just, Alonzo. They're incredible operators, and it's not just money.
They're good people, more important.
Dude, they're the best. They're the best. They changed my entire view on private equity, to be quite honest. Because as a founder, I was like, oh my God, private equity. Here comes investors that are trying to really just come down, give you some money, and then just force you to grow for the sake of growth or whatever, make bad decisions. These guys are just fantastic. I joke with Andrew all the time. I'm like, once hopefully we exit PINCHO and I start another brand, I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do it without the Savory platform. You're kind of like, you're spoiled now, right? You have 60 something people in an office helping you out. It's kind of hard to go back and do it by yourself. So look, it has been a phenomenal decision for the company. I wouldn't have it any other way. They're incredible.
Yeah, no, we agree. And as Shachi said, they're really just outstanding and just really good people. And I think they're a special organization, and we love that you're part of it. You're one of their key brands, and again, what a great story for you guys and our friends at Savory. Listen, I want to shift gears. Shatz and I started this podcast because we obviously like to chit chat and talk to people, but we learned along the way. Sometimes our guests have a question for us. So let's kick off talking back. We're going to give you the microphone. It's your opportunity to ask us a question. As I like to say, nothing is off the table.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, my question is, I think maybe then it's a little boring, but I've always wondered, because we've never talked about this, how did you guys go from restaurant operators to technology investors? Like, what was the moment that you said, you know what we should do, Shat? We should start investing in startups.
Yeah, no, it's a great question.
Great question.
We've been getting some really great questions the last couple of weeks, and I got to tell you, it's a fun little story.
Is this the best question we've ever been asked, Shazzy?
It's honestly, it's the best question we've ever been asked. It's the best guest with the best question, and I couldn't be more excited. But
all right, Shazzy, go for it.
We as you know, own and operate restaurants, continue to, and this is going back quite a few years back. Always been loving tech and using tech, and recognizing that there's a place in hospitality and food service for technology and innovation. And I remember, really the story is it's we've told it before on this show. We were renovating a store on the Upper East Side here in New York City. It was Duke's. It was one of our places, been around since '95. It was like a roadhouse kind of place, looking to be, kind of just set ourselves apart, make ourselves a little different. I noticed there were some self-pouring beverage companies out there that were, I was reading about. This is when you were looking at the Nation's Restaurant News in the magazine form, and flipping through, and I saw these companies doing that. I thought it was really cool. And so we encompassed that, integrated that into our renovation. We said, let's put a beer wall up where people could get a card and pour their own beer. And, that's really, it's automation, it's technology, it's innovation, it's all those things. And we started selling more beer. We didn't have a lot of theft or lost or waste. Customers were happy. They were engaging with each other. Staff was happy. We were reducing labor costs, but they were still making the tips. And guests were buying more beer. We were really just so excited about what had happened there. And I became very friendly with the founder, Josh Goodman, out of Chicago. And I remember just asking him, like, we love what this is. We love this. Are you looking for investors? And I think I just told the story the other day, Jimmy. And he goes, yeah, we are looking for investors. And he's like, yeah, we're raising money right now. We were using a convertible note. I had no idea what he was talking about, but I nodded. I'm like, oh, yeah, convertible note. We love convertible notes. We're always doing convertible notes, And I quickly called Jimmy up. I'm like, Jimmy, what's a convertible note and how do we get one? And he says, why? I said, we got that beverage system that we got on the Upper East Side. He's like, I love that thing. I'm like, we can invest in that company. And he was like, oh my God, what a great opportunity. We brought our partner Dean in, great opportunity. And honestly, that's really how it started.
That's hilarious. What?
It started with me calling Jimmy about a convertible note.
I actually met Josh last year at the NRA in Chicago with Alonzo, actually.
Yeah,
I met him because of Alonzo. It's funny. He's a great guy.
I'll tell you, you want to hear somebody who said no? I'll give you one person. I think there's one person in the world who's ever said no. I'll tell you one person said no to Andrew. Josh, Jimmy, and I flew to meet Andrew in Salt Lake City. I think it was four food groups, right, with Alonzo. We toured the office, and he wanted to invest in the company. And I, forgetting the details, but he said no to Andrew. I thought Andrew, his face, it was brilliant. We laugh about it all the time because I just think it's really funny. There's one person in the world who said no. Wow. It was Josh Goodman.
That's
Wow,
funny.
this really is raw and unfiltered. I was going to say, hey, old wound, meat ripping off scab. There's Shatsy.
Yeah, no, it was great. No, we joke about it. We see Andrew. We joke about it all the time, and I think Josh and Andrew have spoken many times since. But yeah, that's a great story. And now we're 45 investments later, and still opening restaurants.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Congrats.
I think Shatsy, first of all, his answer to your question, Otto, which I love that question, and his answer was uh, actually brutally honest and unfiltered. I wish I could tell you that there was this intentionality of how we identified a void in the market and tried to fill it. But the truth is, Shatsy has always been a great friend to tech entrepreneurs. We didn't have an investment platform in our restaurant company. We didn't have an advisory platform. We're a restaurant group. And Chatsy's thought was, how do you know what technology can and cannot help you unless you're willing to engage with the technology community? So there are about a dozen or maybe even 24 companies that are now household names that we knew, our restaurants knew as beta companies or beta testers, PowerPoint presentations. And the joke on us is we didn't make a dime. But I'm not a golfer, but I understand the concept of you can't go back and redo golf swings. So all I will say is when Chatsy was telling me about the friction between technologists and operators, it did seem to me that there was a lack of utilization of subject matter experts. And I was in the financial world and running a firm, an investment firm in a different asset class. And that convertible note question came my way. I did have to ask Shatsy, why is he asking me about this? And that really led to the discussion. And Branded Ventures really started off as a hobby of 3 people deploying capital until we realized this should be more than that. And we formalized the company, and here we are almost 5 years later, having a nice afternoon with you, my friend. But it really did start with a question of what's the convertible note.
Jimmy, do you hear something?
All right, let's do it.
What's that, Jimmy?
It sounds like we're going to do the food service feud.
I mean, that sounds like it's time for really great segment right now, Jimbo. Great segue. We got the food service feud coming right now, Jimmy. Are you ready? Otto, you ready?
Yeah. The attorneys of Family Feud, that there is no imitation. Do not send any letters. That theme song came out of nowhere. I have no idea where that came from.
I thought you wrote that song. Well, anyway, listen, we got a great food service feud. Jimmy, Otto, get your buzzers ready. We asked every Tuesday on LinkedIn, we throw a poll, fun question, something about food, hospitality, travel, leisure, that whole thing. And we did a great question. We asked over 100 random folks, and we actually got 37 billion responses. That's right, 37 billion responses. It nearly took down the server at LinkedIn. Microsoft has called us and asked us, requested, please, no more polls. You're killing the whole LinkedIn. It's crashing the servers. Anyway, are you ready for the question?
Yes, and you're so good with numbers, Shatsy. I love it. So good, so good.
Which pizza chain has the best pizza pie? Go.
Bing, bing.
Jimbo?
Papa John's.
Number 1 answer on the board is Papa John's. Otto, you can't steal, but you can just throw out and see, can you guess 2, 3, and 4?
Little Caesars?
Little Caesars on the board, coming in at number 3. And number 2, Jimbo, you want to go one more?
CC's.
CC's is number 4, and number 2 is Domino's. Domino's.
I was back in the shack, baby. I was back in shack.
I know what you were doing. But Cece's our friend, the non-golfer. We can always back him a little bit too, right?
That's why I gave him the second guess.
I think we can say what you want. I mean, coming from New York, I think we know something about pizza. But at the end of the day, Domino's in the right circumstances, anywhere in the world, I would say it's still, it hits the spot.
It's really good. And by the way, Shaquille O'Neal celebrated his birthday not so long ago. Quite recently. Happy birthday, Shaq. Call me.
Hey, happy birthday. Our very dear friend, Shaq.
Very dear friend. Very dear friend. Listen, at the top of the episode, we played a little game, 2 truths and a lie. We listed 3 facts about our friend Otto. 2 are true. 1 is false. Quick review. Here were the 3 facts. Otto was kicked out of school for hacking into the school computer network. Fact 2, Otto speaks 4 languages fluently. Fact 3, Otto played professional soccer for 8 years. Shatsy, care to guess?
Yeah, I got to tell you, Jimmy, I thought about this throughout the entire episode. That's probably why I was spaced out a little bit. And I tell you right now, Otto speaks 4 languages because he's from Brazil. He lives in Miami, and I'm speaking English right now. So I'm sure he probably throw a little maybe German in there, maybe French. I don't know what he's got. Maybe Italian because he's got that Italian.
I thought you might go with Spanish, like Portuguese, Spanish.
Well, he lives in Miami. He has to speak Spanish. That was the Miami thing. If you live in Miami, he's speaking Spanish. Yes, Brazil, the Portuguese, English. And obviously he's probably French, Italian. Who the hell knows? But he's got something else in there. Okay. Probably not Latin. And I got to tell you, he said the whole computer thing. So I know that he hacked into his high school to change his grades. He was doing like a little Ferris Bueller. He had probably a C- or whatever. And him and his boys probably hacked in and be like, you got A's now, buddy. You know what I mean? So I would say he did not play professional soccer. Oh, he's from Brazil, but he didn't play professional soccer. Go, Jimmy.
All right. Chatsy's going with hacking. He got kicked out of school for hacking the school computer at 4 languages. Otto, what do you got for us?
He's absolutely right.
Oh, come on, Jimmy.
He's absolutely right. I did get kicked out.
I'm crushing it on this, man. If this was a profession, forget about it.
This could be your gig, man. This could be your gig.
Man, I'm actually really impressed.
So what are the 4 languages? I think I got 3 out of the 4. Obviously,
yeah, you guys got three out of the 4, right? So English, obviously, Spanish, Portuguese, and Arabic. Right, Middle Eastern.
I went German. Yeah. Way off on that. Way off.
There you go.
That was not a good guess. And how about the story?
And I knew that.
Well, listen. Were you changing grades? Were you pulling the Ferris Bueller? What were you doing to get kicked out of school?
Again, I used to read hacking books for fun. I was a big nerd when I was a kid. Yeah. And in Chicago, it was my first year in the States. I was a 9th grader in Chicago, and I hacked into the library system. And yes, I was able to take down the whole security. I was able to navigate through the folders of different faculty members. I was able to do a lot of things.
And so you changed your grades, and you got all of your absentees removed.
I can't say what happened. All I can tell you is that I've graduated.
The statute of limitations is passed on that, I think. But I'm not. Jimmy's half order. You got to ask him.
And although I did play soccer when I was a kid, it was not professionally. It was just for fun because I'm Brazilian.
Brazil. I mean, I know you played soccer. I mean, yeah. Well, listen. Let's jump into the Branded Quickfire. Okay, PINCHO edition. Branded Quickfire, PINCHO edition. Otto, we're going to ask you 5 lightning round questions. I don't want you to think too hard. Just whatever first thing that comes to your mind, that's what you want to say. Are you ready, sir?
Yes, sir.
Favorite cult classic movie?
Oh, crap. Bloodsport.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah, old school.
Good.
Either that or Top Gun. Those are my favorite two from old school cult movies.
Oh, gotta tell you. You know what Jimmy's favorite movie is? The second Top Gun. He saw it 8 times on the plane. It's the first movie he's seen since Rocky.
Yes, it's a long flight.
The original Rocky. I'm talking the Rocky like 76. You know what I mean? Yes. Not like Rocky 9. Where are you getting dinner from tonight?
I'm actually going to Sushi Garage in Coconut Grove.
Ooh, nice. The Grove. I'm loving the Grove. I'll be down there next week, loving the Grove. What's your favorite food city in the world, sir?
San Francisco.
I got to tell you, Jimmy and I were there not too long ago. We went to that. Where did we go, Jimmy? The House of Prime Rib, 1949.
I got to tell you, House of Prime Rib. Yeah.
I mean, I got to tell you, unbelievable. This segment was sponsored by the House of Prime Rib since 1949, serving prime rib. Where's your favorite place to travel?
Mykonos, Greece.
Yeah. Good food, good beaches, good weather. Okay. If you were to challenge Jimmy or I to a game of hide and seek, what do you think you would have an easier time finding? Jimmy, stand up. Jimmy's got a brace on his leg right now, okay? He's wearing a green St. Patty's Day shirt. I mean, he stands out like a sore thumb. As soon as you said, "Ready or not, here I come," you would see Jimmy running. No, but you guess. Who would you have a better time? Look how little I am. I can squirm into like a little hole.
I think I'll have an easier time finding you, Shatsy. Honestly.
Are you kidding? I blend in. Look at me. I stand sideways. You can't even see me.
I know it'll take 10 seconds before you say something, and I can hear your voice, and I can know where you are for sure.
I gotta tell you.
Yeah, I gotta tell you. I would be giggling. I'd be giggling when you were near me.
I gotta tell you, our producer loaded this question up to get Shatz a win. Shatz was pushing you, Otto, to get a win, but you actually held firm. Shatsy has such attention deficit disorder. The chances of him staying quiet. For those 10 seconds, it's 0. I think you're right. You nailed my brother.
I'm just picturing Jimmy like trying to fit into the closet and move the coats and stuff, And then you open the closet and Jimmy's standing there like in a coat,
I am fiercely competitive, and even though I might carry a little more size than you, I would freaking hide and I'd stay hidden.
I know one thing. You'd stay quiet. I would giggle. I would laugh and giggle.
All right, that's good fun. Listen, Otto, we want to thank you so much for joining us on the podcast and for sharing all those great insights. We appreciate what you and the entire team at PINCHO's are doing, and that includes your partners and our friends at Savory. Your work in the hospitality industry at this time you're on a great run. We're so excited, genuinely, for your continued success. If you want to get in touch with Otto directly, you can email the Branded team at podcast@brandedstrategic.com. That's podcast@brandedstrategic.com. We'd be happy to make the introduction for you. To our listeners, we want to thank you so much for tuning in. We see new podcasts as launching all the time, and we welcome it. It's a great forum. It's a great way to share thought leadership and ideas, so we continue to support our friends, but we also are so appreciative of how our subscriber base, our listening base, is growing exponentially, and that's awesome. We want to thank you for that. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our podcast. You don't miss out on any of the exciting guests we have coming up in the future, and better yet, invite a friend to hang out with us the next time. So again, to our friend Otto, appreciate you and continued success, and look forward to raising a glass with you soon, my friend. I'll pass it back to my boy Shatsy.
Yeah, thanks, Jimbo. And Otto, how do we find Pinchos? What do we got? What's the URL? There's a pinchos.com?
Yeah. PINCHO.com, no S. PINCHO.com.
All right, everybody, you heard it. Best burger in all the land, PINCHO.com, opening in Houston, Texas very soon. Mother's kebab recipe, speaks 8 languages, professional soccer player. He's everything you could ever want. Thank you, my friend, to be a guest. This is Shatsy, Restaurant Guy, signing off. Hospitality Hangout. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers, everybody. Thank you.